Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we will be talking about Red in the 2.5 format. So let's see if we can get this over 100 likes. Make sure that this video gets up and trending because it's going to pertain a lot to the tournaments that are happening before set 3. That being said, I want to let you guys know that we will be diving back into set 3, but so far, just with all the stuff going on in life, moving, trying to figure out the new plays, things like that, I'm a little late on that. But they haven't released any SRs that pertain to leaders, so we will get in that in due time when we have a little bit more to talk about each archetype. Last but not least, on the Patreon today, you will find the U7 Goku breakdown with my deck list, my personal findings and testings, as well as the start of the giveaway for the top 64 Goku. So, sorry, Vegeta. So make sure that you hop in on that. And then next month, we'll be giving away this Frieza. So yeah, just chill. We're doing a lot of stuff on the Patreon. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into the content and stay tuned later for some different messages like my Sparking Zero giveaway. We're definitely hitting on that. And yeah, let's talk about Red. So a lot of people look at Red and they're like, hooray, you know, like the Wicked Witch is dead. And I don't quite feel that it's dead. I just feel like it's depowered. It's that point in the anime where the godly MC gets stripped of the powers and they have to like level up again, or they have to play fairly, or they have to actually, I don't know, use skill instead of overwhelming brute force. And don't get me wrong, TopKu had a lot of skill to it, but it was just far and away the better deck than other decks in the format. So right now, the thing about TopKu is that before the ban, it could awaken super fast. It could in the late game with Ribrianne and Glimpse before anybody could stabilize in the late game. It had great removal due to it being able to play Kefla into Gohan and then have the 3-drop Gohan come down from set 1 to give everything -10. You could board clear. You could do so many things because you were able to cheat out Kefla and then cheat out another body. Now that this is over, his reign is over, you have Red essentially being what is going to be either a mid-range control deck with the minus effects being able to clear board, or you're going to have a very low to the ground, not even necessarily low to the ground, but honest aggro. What I mean by honest is there are no slingshots for the most part. There are no random points where the field explodes. There are no points where you're just like, wow, this is just stupid unfair. It's for the most part, everything costs energy and you have to, you know, play accordingly. So the thing about this is, I guess we're going to start about the leaders first, right? So these are just my opinions right now. But when it comes to starter Q, I'm not really feeling him too heavy. And I'll explain that a little bit later, but starter Q doesn't have any necessarily aggressive tendencies, but even on the defense, what a lot of people were doing is just what they learned to do against starter Q once we had the pool is just you remove the battle cards and you just focus on the leader with your attacks. And that's easier said than done, I guess, like with cards like, or with decks like yellow sometimes, but like at the same time, it's not exactly easier said than done. Like blue can 100% just punch at your leader and remove your battle cards. Green can definitely do that once it gets up to speed. So it's just a little rough for that 5k to really feel like it's going the distance. And then you move on to a leader like U7Ku, and U7Ku is also odd because there's a lot of cards now in the red archetype that are staples that are just not U7. U6 has a huge presence in that deck right now. And the funniest thing about it though is even past that, you still have a lot of cards that get benefited. 3-drop Goku SR from set 1 is still a 30k swinger that probably removes something, could self-awaken. You have 3-drop SR Gohan, who is now a 30k on swing, who minuses 15 or something. He is very powerful as well. You also have 1-drop Frieza, which is one of the best cards, you know, chilling in that deck now. Coming out being a 1-drop 25k is massive amounts of pressure. So U7 now has the ability to punch harder than before, but nothing is cheated out. That is, again, the main issue with this. Now, moving past that, something that a lot of people are going to wonder about is Beerus. And I've heard a lot of people saying that without Roshi, Beerus is dead, and that is literally just conjecture. That's cap, Your Honor. Now, that really doesn't make too much sense because Beerus is, you still have, like, I've been testing out U7. You're still going to awaken on turn 3 pretty much every game because you have so many self awakeners. You have your Cauliflas, you have your hits, you have your Krillins if you decide to play them. You have your 3-drop Gohans, you have your 3-drop SR 3-drop SR Gokus. You are going to still awaken on time, mind you. And when you do, Beerus is going to be able to have a very good control matchup against the likes of certain colors. So we are going to kind of go into just kind of TopKu just to put that to bed, and then we're going to actually go into some of the buffs that some of the cards that the decks actually have at their disposal before we start talking about their matchups and whatnot. So when it comes to TopKu, there's just nothing to really salvage. Ribrianne is gone, and so again, you have nothing you can do with the late game. When you get to the Roshi ban prevents TopKu from awakening on time. It can still awaken, don't get me wrong, you're just literally 1 turn later for the most part. But getting to 3 life around turn 5 can be disastrous, in the sense that you're really just too late at that point. And then if you don't see your Kefla by then, what are you really doing with your leader effect? So now the game has gotten to a point where TopKu can't hyper awaken, it can't drop Ribrianne, and it has one Kefla. So you're really sitting at a point where it's just not worth it to play. You're gonna get blown out of the game before it can even begin, and that's just rough in general. So yeah, those are the 4 leaders. I'm not gonna hold you. I think that the most promise comes with U7 Goku as well as Beerus, but there's even things within that make me feel like there's a little pause. The main elephant in the room here though is definitely Glimpse of Hidden Arrogance. I can tell you that this is probably the best card in red. Single-handedly the best card in red. It just makes anything you do better. Testing U7, the amount of times that I have played out 1-drop Frieza, attacked with it, and then played Glimpse for 50k without even touching the other 10k I brought back to my hand. That's insane. That is literally insane. 3 energy for a 50k swinger is ridiculous. You can also end up making so many stupid plays, that when you need to get it done. Like if you need to push somebody for crit, Glimpse on Caulifla makes that a 45k without the 10k, so 45 to 55. Glimpse on SR Gohan will turn him up to, like, if you're playing Beerus, and you play SR Gohan and you attack, or he's already in the field, you attack, you minus something down by 15k. And then, like Beerus' effect is already minus by 10k, so that's removal. 25k is a good number for removal. Then you just Glimpse on it, and that thing is a 50k once again. Like, Glimpse is just powerful, and it's not going anywhere. You guys should have seen the premium box. I'll put it on the screen real quick. This is what I was talking about before. It just went up on premium Bandai in Japan. I'm wondering how it's going to be distributed in America. This card's not going anywhere, not for a while, but it's also low-key what's keeping red on the map. It's just, no matter what red deck you play, I think this is a minimum of 3 of, and I think it could easily be a 4 of. Past that, realistically, red's biggest strength is how many self-awakeners it has, how many aggressive self-awakeners it has. The removal is a little weird, because to play red removal right now, you pretty much have to run into some walls and hope that you can build in a way that doesn't impact your consistency when it comes to combo power. So let us get into the sponsors now, and then I want to talk about my Sparking Zero giveaway for a split second, and then we'll be right back into the matchups for this color. Alright y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list. And at the checkout for their website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X. So you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so it'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. So yeah, great stores, great owners, great communities. And like I said, on my Dragon Ball channel, which will be in the description, I'll be giving away 2 copies of Sparking Zero as long as that channel is monetized by the time we get to October. So yeah, if you want to go over there, sub, maybe like some videos, and keep an eye out for the videos that I will be posting. So with that being said, let's get back into the video. And by the way, for every 1,000 subscribers I get over 1,000 and monetized, I'm adding in another copy of Sparking Zero for the console of your choice. So get hype. Back to the content though, I think that red versus red you probably shouldn't see too often, but it's the same as it used to be. When 2 decks with aggressive tendencies go back and forth, your swords become your shield sometime as well. You have to use your aggression to block. Moving on to the blue matchup. This one is pretty even. Blue can remove a bunch of your things, but the thing is, blue is bad for, you can't 1-for-1 blue. If you have 2 attacks every turn and they only require your opponent to drop 1 card or a Gallic Gun and then they draw, you're never going to break through blue. But the secret of red right now is that red has the ability to go fairly wide. You have so many 2-drop bodies. At 6 energy, you can swing 4 times in a turn if you tap out. That's going to be something that does wear on your opponent's hand. A card is a card. If they have 8 cards in hand and they are at 2 life and refuse to go down low, they have to drop 4 cards to stop you from, you know, going or taking their life any lower. And that's something to just note. It's a honest deck now because Kefla is not there in full force, but you can still use Kefla. And if you're not playing against blue, you can often recycle Kefla using Glimpse. So you have to understand that against blue, it very much is a tight game of can you outvalue their sheer value. And that just comes in ways of bodies. It can happen, but you can't sleep on the blue matchup, and the blue matchup cannot sleep on you. So moving past that to green, this is where your bread and butter is. Green is notorious for being able to go tall, but not wide. So, and you have your checkpoints in the game where you know how many cards that they can get off of your field based on how much energy they have. So against green, you really just go hard. Now, there are going to be certain better matchups for this, and I'm going to actually return to that point after this. But when it comes to yellow, yellow is the one matchup where I feel like it's a little rough. Yellow has the Vegeta, and if you're playing Beerus, I think that's a little better, but if you're not playing Beerus, it gets a little rough to remove that Vegeta. It's just a little hard, especially if they are playing Vegeta leader, because then they have the backup of the extra cards to lessen your attacks with Death Ball while protecting the Vegeta. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. So you really do have to be careful, and maybe there are better ways to build with more minus included. It's just that a lot of the cards that minus are not aggressive. You have Hit, you have Gohan. Those are pretty much the main people that are aggressive cards that also do removal that doesn't mind KOing. But there are some cards that you kind of have to auto-include to make sure you don't get stuck behind Bulmas and Ginyu Frogs and get advantage into Oblivion, because you are an honest deck with red now. If you run out of cards, there's no amount of pressure you can put on the board, and your opponent, like, if you're running out of cards, your opponent has to be running out of cards and running out of life if you want to close out the game. So you have to have been putting on the pressure like nobody's business. That being said, the matchups are kind of interesting because I think that U7 is great against green. I think that U7 is great against, or decent against blue, pretty 50-50 against blue. from my testing, its yellow matchup is lackluster, but that could be changed. Whereas Beerus, I think that Beerus can also be 50-50-ish against blue. I think Beerus has a much better matchup versus yellow. I think Beerus unfortunately loses the edge against green because it's a little slower, a little less aggressive than U7, and green will take advantage of that. Even in full power format with 4 Keflas, green took advantage of that and could sometimes stabilize on Beerus players. So we have to kind of see how that goes. And then Starter Q, I think that literally Starter Q does aggression worse than U7 and does control worse than Beerus. I'm sorry. If you guys have a different opinion about that, let me know. But once we're done with all 4 of these color videos, we'll be doing a tier list, so we'll be able to back into that. That being said, yeah, that's my opinion on those decks. I do think that red can still play, but I also still think that we're in a messy triangle where blue beats yellow, yellow beats green, green beats blue, and red has good matchups in that triangle but has no specific place in that triangle. It's off to the side. So with that being said, I'm going to close up the video. Let me know what you think. So yeah, like I said before, tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know if you guys have been experimenting with red. And yeah, as I stated before, we got a U7 article going on the Patreon. It's up right now. We've got the contest for the top 64 Vegeta going on. So make sure you hop into that, and make sure you hop over to UniXDB to see the things I'm doing for Dragon Ball Legends, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, as well as Sparking Zero to come. Yeah, thank you guys for all your support, and I will be signing off. And oh yeah, real quick, for you guys that still like One Piece, and I say still like it's not one of the most popular card games ever, I will be at Gen Con. I will literally be at Gen Con, and let's just say that, like, even if I don't make videos for this game, I still play. So, yeah. See you next time.